Let's be honest. Social media is weird. 100 years ago, if you wanted strangers to know what you ate for breakfast, you'd probably consider it a little unusual. Today, you can post a picture of your toast, get 500 likes, and somehow feel disappointed. Humanity is fascinating, but social media has become one of the biggest parts of modern life. Billions of people use it every day. We scroll for breakfast, we scroll for lunch, we scroll before bed. Some of us are probably scrolling right now while watching this video. And don't worry, I won't tell anyone. But that raises an interesting question. What would Jesus think about social media? Would he be on Instagram? Would he have a TikTok account? Would he be posting Bible verses on X? Or would he throw his phone into the Sea of Galilee and call it a day? Let's talk about it. First, let's clear something up. Social media itself isn't evil. It's a tool, and tools can be used for good and bad. A hammer can build a house or smash a window. The hammer isn't the problem, it's the person using it. The same thing applies to social media. It can connect people, encourage people, teach people, spread hope. In fact, you're watching this video because of social media, so clearly some good can come of it. But if Jesus looked at social media today, I think he'd notice something pretty quickly. We're obsessed with attention. Likes, views, followers, comments, shares. For many people, their mood depends on the numbers on a screen. A post gets a lot of likes. Great day. Nobody interacts with it. Existential crisis. And we've all been there, right? You post something, check it 5 minutes later, nothing. Check it 10 minutes later, still nothing. At that point, you're basically investigating the situation like a detective. Why isn't this performing? And Jesus often warned people about doing good things just to be seen by others. He challenged people to examine their motives. Why are you doing what you're doing? To help others or to get attention? To glorify God or to glorify yourself? Now, that's an uncomfortable question because social media makes it very easy to build our identity around others' people approval. And Jesus consistently taught that our value comes from God, not from public opinion. And another thing is Jesus might notice our comparison. Social media is basically a highlight reel. People post their best moments, their vacations, their achievements, their perfect photos, their exciting experiences. Rarely do people post, here's me sitting in traffic for 40 minutes, or here's my third failed attempt at making dinner. Instead, we see everyone's best moments and compare them to our ordinary days. And comparison can be dangerous. Suddenly, someone else's success feels like your failure, or someone else's blessing feels like your problem, and someone else's life makes you feel like yours isn't enough. But Jesus never told people to compare themselves to one another. He called people to follow him. And now let's talk about something even bigger. Social media is designed to keep your attention, and honestly, it's really good at it. You open the app for 5 minutes and then somehow it's dark outside. You have no idea what happened. You watched 17 videos, learned 3 useless facts, and forgot all 3. And now it's 2 hours later, and many people spend more time scrolling every day than praying, reading, exercising, learning, or spending time with family. And that is worth thinking about because Jesus often talked about what captures our hearts and minds. What we consistently give our attention to eventually shapes us. And then there's the issue of anger. Have you ever noticed that social media gets people angry really fast? Sometimes it feels like the internet wakes up every morning looking for a new argument. One controversial post appears and everyone becomes an expert. Thousands of comments, thousands of arguments, thousands of people absolutely convinced they're right. And Jesus certainly wasn't afraid of the truth, but he also taught people to love others, to be merciful, and to be slow to anger. And now imagine how different social media would look if people actually treated each other with the way Jesus taught, right? The comment sections alone would be unrecognizable. And then there's envy. One of the oldest human struggles. Social media gives us unlimited opportunities to want what someone else has: their money, their appearance, their relationship, their house, success, their life. And the problem is that envy never leads to contentment. It only makes us feel like what we already have isn't enough, you know? So Jesus regularly encouraged gratitude and trust in God rather than constantly chasing what others possess. But here's the thing: I don't think Jesus would only criticize social media. I think we'd also see the opportunities, because social media allows people to encourage others across the world, to share truth, to support struggling friends, to teach, to inspire, to spread hope. One message can reach thousands or even millions of people, and to me that is incredible. So if it's used wisely, social media can be a powerful tool for good. So would Jesus have had social media? Honestly, we don't know. How how can we know, you know? The Bible, it doesn't tell us, but I think the better question is, how would Jesus use social media? Would he use it to chase popularity? Probably not. Would he use it to tear people down? Definitely not. Would he use it to spread the truth, encourage people, and point others toward God? Yeah, that sounds more like him. Maybe the real question isn't what would Jesus think about social media, but maybe it is, what does my social media use reveal about me? Does it make me more grateful, or more jealous, more loving, or more angry, more connected to God, or more distracted from Him? Because social media itself isn't the main issue, it's the heart behind it. And that's exactly where Jesus always focused. At the end of the day, social media is a tool, a powerful one. It can waste your time, damage your mental health, feed comparison, increase anxiety, create addiction, fuel anger, or it can encourage people, teach people, connect people, and spread hope. The difference often comes down to how we choose to use it. And if Jesus taught us anything, it's that what happens in your heart matters far more than what happens on the screen. So thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing for more videos about Christianity, faith, history, and the big questions of modern life. And let me know in the comments, do you think social media has helped your relationship with God, hurt it, or a bit of both? See you in the next video. Peace.